When I was in year 3, in 3rd grade, I was in a play at our church. It was Cinderella. It was the first time I'd ever been on stage, and I was so excited because I had a solo, and I also had one line, and I was so excited to be in this. We rehearsed for weeks to get ready for this play, and then the night came. The night came when all the parents gathered and members of the church family gathered in the church hall to see us kids in our costumes with all the sets to do the play Cinderella. And I still remember, to this day, almost half a century later, I still remember my solo. I remember the words. I remember the melody. I'm not going to sing it now because this is supposed to be a word of encouragement. But I still remember it to this day. But here's the thing. I didn't remember it on the night. When my solo came up, it was in the middle of a chorus, and the chorus stopped singing, and I was supposed to sing my solo. I sang the first few words, and then I stumbled. And it was really confusing to me because in rehearsals, the director had always stopped whenever something messed up, and we'd start again. But in the performance, she just kept playing. And I was panicked because I could see my solo was just slipping away from me, and I didn't know how to get back into it. And before I knew it, it was over, and I hadn't sung my solo. And right after that song, we were gathered in this ballroom scene in these pretend conversation groups while there was dialogue going on. And I was in a pretend conversation group with Gary Ackerman, who is an 8th grader. And he was in the role of the prince. And we were just supposed to pretend we were talking while the dialogue went on, but he really spoke to me. He'd never spoken to me before. He was an 8th grader. I was in 3rd grade. But he spoke to me. He whispered to me, it was all right. Don't worry about it. He told me, I mess up too. And when you mess up, you just keep going. If you can't remember the words, just hum the song. If you have a line, you can't remember your line, just get the gist of it. Just do your best. Just keep going. Almost 50 years later, I still remember that conversation. There's no way that Gary Ackerman, if he even remembers me, there's no way he remembers that conversation. But I remember it. And I remember when I had my one little line, it was the evil stepmother said, "Oh, I come from a long line of dainty feet." And my line was, "Good woman, your feet are enormous." I had no idea it was a funny line. I had no idea that I was saying it in a funny way. But when the parents and the church family there, they laughed out loud and then they clapped. And it wasn't because I had done such a great job. It was because they knew this little kid who had tears in his eyes a few minutes earlier needed some encouragement, needed a lift. And they lifted me up. And I think about the impact of that encouragement, of Gary Ackerman and of my church family and who were gathered in the church hall that night. The impact of encouragement is far more than any of those people could realize. I mean, I think about what could have happened. I could have come away from that night and said, I'm never going to get and talk in front of people or sing in front of people ever again. But I didn't. I came away from that saying it's all right. It's all right if you mess up, if you bring your best and you fall short. You keep going. You can keep going. The people who know you and love you, they're with you. That's what I came away with. And so today, I just want to encourage you to be an encouragement. Encouragement is a theme in the Bible that we see woven through the Scriptures. We see even in Barnabas in the book of Acts. He is the son of encouragement. His name means the son of encouragement. And I just want to encourage you to think about people in your circle, people around you who might need either a word of encouragement or an act of encouragement. Encouragement can be something very small, just a simple word spoken, or an act of kindness, a batch of biscuits baked, or just checking in with somebody on the phone or on Zoom. Those acts of encouragement may seem small to you, but they can have a dramatic impact on someone's life, and they can be a blessing beyond anything that you can imagine. So I hope that today that you're able to find someone in your circle, someone who you know, who you're able to offer an encouragement to. And I hope that today you have a hope